WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, in Berlin at the Whiskyherbst Whiskey Fair, together with...
Charlie Graham from Heaven Hills Distilleries.
Wow, someone from America here in Berlin. I love it. Heaven Hill, I was there 2 years ago. Beautiful, beautiful place. We only had 104 degrees on that day in the summer. That was very, very nice. And you have some wonderful products. Let's start off with Evan Williams, one of the guys who started with whiskey in America. What products do you have and why are they special?
So at the fair today we've got the Evan Williams Extra Age, which is a 5-year-old. The Extra Age statement is because we do put it in for the extra age, or the extra year after being called a straight. And we've got the Bottled in Bond, which is a 4-year-old product at 50%. Both of the products, mash bills are 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% barley. I mean, to me, for the job they're there to do, they do the job very well.
Bottom shelf whiskey that tastes very nice.
Yeah, 100%. It's a product I wouldn't be afraid of ever giving to any of my friends.
Now moving up the shelf a little bit, we have something called a single barrel. This is what, the 2007. I have the 1999 at home, which was really nice. Yes.
Wow.
I love the face. It exactly was like, oh wow, yeah.
The 1999 one's a lovely drop.
Yes, it was.
This 2007 is a good one. I really like 2004.
Yep.
This one's one of the only bourbons that will create a vintage stamp.
Yep.
So you can taste the difference of what's happened during the winter, what's happened during the kind of summer. So if we have a warm, because believe it or not, it gets cold in Kentucky.
It does.
I mean, I've stood in a rick house when it was 4 degrees, and that is
and he's talking 4 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius.
Yeah. No, it was real cold.
Yeah.
So if we have a super cold winter or a super hot summer, the whiskey will kind of change and accelerate or decelerate along those lines.
Yeah. Very, very interesting whiskey. Now, one of the most unique whiskeys would be our mellow corn. Do you like it? Personally, I don't.
Well.
Oh, he has a T-shirt on. I didn't even realize that. So he's not. He's the ambassador for mellow corn.
No, I mean, I think mellow corn, again, it splits people down the middle. You either love it or you hate it. For me, as a product goes, it's starting to gain a little bit of a cult following. The label itself, we've never changed that since 1945 when we brought it out. And it's changing people's opinions of it. I mean, a corn whiskey, to be a corn whiskey, just means that you're not aged in a new oak barrel. Basically, the rest of it's the same as bourbon. But when you try this, if you try this in like a daiquiri, it makes a really interesting drink. Like, it's a really kind of... It's one of those ones. I think we're only at the beginning of what we can figure out, what we can do with this product. As a straight bourbon goes, I mean, it's a great boilermaker.
Very, very good. That's one way of putting it, exactly. Now, Larceny is your wheated whiskey.
Yep.
And also not always easy to find over here in Europe. It's getting better the last year at least. I love the key. Would you mention something about the key of Larceny?
So Larceny is based on the recipe of John E. Fitzgerald, which is the Old Fitzgerald. And Old Fitzgerald, before he opened his own distillery, was a bondsman. So he had the keys to every single warehouse. And when he worked in the warehouses, he took a bit of a penchant, let's say, for wheated bourbon. And when they weighed the barrels at the end, the wheater ones were always lighter. So they became known as Old Fitz barrels. Yeah. So hence the name, Larceny. It's a little bit of a play on words.
It is. And that's why he was stealing stuff and so on. Yeah. Now, actually maybe one of the best budget ryes in the world.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say?
So when I took this job, one of the main reasons I was super happy to take this job was this product.
Okay.
It's been a go-to for me for years. You're mixing it, Manhattan, Sazeracs. My favorite way to drink this is just a double, little bit of water and a twist of lemon on the top. Apparently that's true Kentucky style as well, as I was told last time I was there.
I'm sure Pappy himself would have done something like that as also.
Yeah. No, he's. I think I picked that one up from Preston Van Winkle actually.
Exactly.
So it's a very.
It does sound like something Preston would do. Yeah. He said, "My daddy did that as well." I love his stories of going into hotels and ordering a Pappy and then putting a little bit of water and the lemon on there. You can't do that. That's absolutely against the law. He says, "My father did that. My grandfather did that. I'm Preston." And just the moment, this is priceless.
Yeah, no, I'd love to be able to see that one day. It'd be a good one to watch.
All right. right. Now over here we have something which is a little rare at the moment, especially in Europe to find. Actually in Germany it's almost impossible to find. I bought my last 3 bottles I've had from England, to be honest. Pikesville.
Yep.
Now this is not budget bourbon. This is excellent bourbon. Why?
So Pikesville and Rittenhouse have exactly the same mash bill. So they both have exactly the same rye quantity, corn quantity, and barley quantity. But this is aged for 7 years, whereas Rittenhouse is aged for 4. So in those extra years, it kind of takes on the flavours and the characteristics of a Maryland rye. So whereas if you try Rittenhouse, you get a real kind of green apple. If you remember fairs when you were a kid and you got toffee apples, this is where that taste goes. But this is, this product, I know it's rare at the minute in the UK, in the EU, but we will, and that's a tricky subject, UK and EU, we're not going to go down that.
We're not going to ask about Brexit, no.
But it's one that will be more featured within the EU markets very soon.
Now, the bottle design is a little bit different for some reason. There's a round back. Was it always rounded?
No, originally it was a tall round bottle, so it's an old Rittenhouse bottle. This, you'll notice with Heaven Hill over the next couple of years that our bottles will start to change a little bit more. Bourbon's becoming premium. We got to keep up.
All right, very good. So talking now about bottle change, we have here the father of bourbon, Elijah Craig Small Batch. 94 proof, new bottle design, no longer the 12-year-old. Why not? We loved the 12-year-old, didn't we?
Everybody loved the 12-year-old, and unfortunately everybody loved the 12-year-old a little bit too much.
Exactly.
So this recipe is brought together through Denny Potter and Jody Filatrell, who are 2 master distillers, and 50% of this will be made from 11 and 12-year-old bourbon, and then the other 50 will be 8, 9, and 10. So we're still keeping the 12 aspect of it, and we've tried our hardest to bring it back, and it's still, for me, it's really tasty. But it's, the 12, we made it too well, I think.
And I've actually tasted both of those blind. Some days I prefer this. It's really amazing. I had to admit, blind, it actually is not worse.
It changes. It changes in the glass really quickly. The first time you try it, there's a real kind of spice to it. But then when you go back, the sweetness really opens up. So it's a really interesting whiskey to kind of play along.
Very good. Now we have the bottle of Wow for all my fans out there and all the fans of Scotch Test Dummies. We know the barrel proof here. We have batch B, 5117. Would you care to mention what those numbers mean for the batch?
The B5117 or B517 is the batch number that came out of the distillery, and this is the one that won the awards this year. Best bourbon in the world.
Which means we can't normally get it in Europe, so...
Keep your eyes out, actually, at the minute, because you've got particularly in Germany, your current batch is B517.
Okay.
So it's big, it's fruity, 62.12%. So... But when you drink it, it doesn't instantly hit you as that. It's a lot softer and a lot kind of more amiable. But it's definitely not an afternoon bourbon. It's more of an evening with a dog, log fire, and a rug, and maybe a pipe.
Oh, excellent. I love that.
But it's a cracker.
Very good. So WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, today at the Whiskyherbst Whiskey Fair in Berlin, together with
Charlie Graham from Heaven Hills Distilleries.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
Thank you very much.
All right.